Back. I hope I'm on the same stream. I'm sorry, guys. I have no idea what happened. Hopefully some of you are still here. But yeah, everything crashed and then locked up. My restream chat is gone. So all that chat stuff is gone. I have to turn it off. It's messed up, man. It's not cool. It is not cool. So I don't know how much of that you saw with King. He was pretty bad with me. As soon as I had the cookies in my hand and I lost the boom, boom, pow, as soon as I lost the prompt switch, we struggled, right? So this happened the last time. I'm going to lose the cookies in my hand. I don't know how much of that were we able to, did you guys see? How much of that did you see? When did it drop out? I was using the prompt switch. Everything was great. I was playing with him. It was super fun, right? I was making a bunch of mistakes. I didn't give a shit. He was going hoop. It was awesome. I got up. I tried to do a couple, right? Shifting gears. I wasn't really proofing. I was just kind of trying to play with him. And then he kind of like jumped up and leaned on the cookie and did some dumb shit. And I dismissed him. So I think what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to go out and try and just hard ass it and ask him for the hoop. So King off without the cookies in my hand. Wait, hoop. I got nothing, right? So I gave him the opportunity, King. And it's a real stretch. Wait, dude, off. King, off, wait. Off. King, off. King, hoop, boom, boom, pow. Oh, that's so annoying, dude. All right. Hoop, hoop, king, hoop, yes. King out there. Hoop. King, hoop. That's the problem. Come on, buddy. Wait. Hoop. Yes, good man. King, hoop. Yes, good man. Great job. Hoop. Yes, good man. Hoop. Hoop. So there was kind of habitual success and then compare and contrast, right? Off. Hoop. Yes, good. So he'll do it right next to the stanchion. I bet he'll do it this way too. King, hoop. Yes, good. So when he's pressured in there, he'll totally do it, right? But as soon as the pressure, hoop, is released, he won't. King, hoop. Yes, good man. And so I got a slight reduction of that pressure. I'm going to keep working that. Hoop. Notice that he did this over here and then did that up there, and I didn't like respond to it at all. Come on, dude. Wait. Hoop. Yes, good man. And that is what's going to earn hoop. Hoop. dude. Come on. Hoop. Yes, good man. Great work. And I'm going to go back close to the thing. King, hoop. Yes, good man. King, hoop. So, come on, buddy. Hoop. Totally pay for doing this next to the pedestal. I should be doing this against a wall, preferably into a corner. I don't have one here, though. So Sage Paw, before I didn't have all the value up here on the pedestal. Off. Hoop. Yes, good man. And I'll see if I can work through it. Hoop. Nope. Hoop. Yes, good man. So I can't like let him stew as much as I want, right? Like because he's going to jump up on the pedestal, and it's going to bust our groove. King. Hoop. King. Come on, dude. Hoop. Boom. Yes. I'll get a couple more. Hoop. Yes. Good man. Hoop. Yes. Good man. Awesome. Great work. You ready? Ready? Wait right there. Ready? Hoop. Yes. Good man. Awesome. Whoa, that guy. Great work. Go to dog stuff. Woo. Yay. Yeah, the pedestal is totally too high, Alicia. I put it up there so he didn't jump up there. And he can jump up there, and I just treated it like it didn't happen, right? The problem is telling him off took him 5 or 7 reps for him to realize he wasn't getting paid for the off, right? And then anytime I would pause him, he went for the sure behavior, which has got to be the pedestal, like it's up there, and it's even higher, so it's got to be like worth more, right? I need to probably bring out the net for this, right? So when I do this in the future, I'll bring out the net. So the dog runs along the net. I would do it against the couch as well, but it would go under the couch and it's kind of far away. Doing anything with the pedestal as a blocker, not going to happen with my dogs. My dogs will jump on any table that has fabric on it. So the nicer the tablecloth, the more likely my dog is to jump on the pedestal. Like Thanksgiving dinner with a beautiful tablecloth, yeah, watch out. My dogs are all over that shit. All right, so that was a train wreck, but hopefully you could see some of the tactics involved, right? Like I actually kind of went out and did kind of what I planned. I was going to use easy criteria, habitual success with the prompt switch, hoop, weakest cue, slightly stronger cue, strongest cue. Hoop, boom, right? And so he knows the cookie's thrown, so I save that one for last, and I just roll through that whole thing kind of as a big, long prompt switch. And it really greases the skids for the dog. It really fools you into thinking the dog knows it. And then when that linkage doesn't go in order, when I was saying hoop, there was no linkage. It wasn't boom, 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 right? Boom, boom. He didn't see that. He saw this, and it looked different. My plan was to make that super hot, super awesome. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, look at you. Boom. I'm sorry. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, look at you. Problem was I blew it with the lower hand first, and then he was looking at the cookie, and then when I had cookies in my hand and I offered him the hoop without the prompt switch, he balked. and went for the cookie. So totally kind of my bad. But he is apt to do that. After that little snafu, right? So I did all of that, making it hot, super awesome. Let's try it. Didn't work. Okay. I saw how it didn't work. I kind of regrouped, and I decided that I would work the prompt switch, just make it happen. Boom, 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 boom. And then contrast it with the one that I wanted. And then make it hot and contrast it with the one that I wanted. And then in doing the one that I wanted, I recognized that he was running by when there was no pressure. And when he was running by when there was no pressure, I then changed gears to compare and contrast between right up against the thing and a little further away. And we got some of that working, and then I stood up and hard-assed it at the end, and bingo, we got it. And so, like, tactically, that's kind of what went down. And I did all of that fairly consciously, right? And hopefully that is interesting and or helpful for you guys. I think that is pretty cool, man. Like, it's super helpful for me to understand that I'm going to go into a situation and my strategy and tactics are probably not going to work, right? And I want to give them an honest shot, but I need to be ready for some other plan at a later time. And anyway, I think that's kind of cool. Your mileage may vary. So let's see, I did pull up quite a few videos. I got a little video here. I'm gonna step outside. It is super, super hot in here. Not exactly comfortable here in Missouri. Hey, buddy. Good call, Alicia, if that's what you were calling for. There's no need to have him posturing on something that high. Again, the intent when I made it that high was for him to not want to go up there. Although, making it really a pain in the ass to get up there is a great way to punish that behavior. All right, so let's see, videos. Ooh, I got something. What do I got? Oh no. All right, I'll just make a new one. It's cool. So I don't know what we're gonna watch. If you guys have any requests on like videos to fill a moment or three while I, oops, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. Choose file. No. This is great. This is amazing, by the way.
The sport of canine frisbee.
Hang on, I want to have all of you, like, this is the coolest intro ever for dog frisbee. This is Brian Lamke and Tatiana, and they're actually April Lee's mentor, and he's the guy that I tried to play like when I was a youngster in the game back in 1999, back in a previous millennium, like 1,000 years ago. And Brian and I are related, so that's kind of wild. So here you go. Check out Brian and Tat from 1994, I think.
The sport of canine frisbee disc catching has, of course, created great esteem for man's best friend as a talented entertainer. Frisbee dogs perform at stadiums before huge crowds. They also do benefits for charitable organizations, entertain children and the disabled, and a number of people with their amusing antics, creating laughter and combating loneliness. They have inspired thousands of people to adopt homeless animals from shelters. So if you're interested in the sport of canine frisbee, you can do your part to encourage others to treat animals in a humane way and to adopt pets so that those pets can be brought into great homes.
Good luck, Ben.
Now coming onto the field, a nice warm welcome for
How
Brian
awesome is that,
Lamke
right?
and Tatiana.
How awesome is that? Is that not the coolest?
They're from Warren, Michigan. Tatiana is a Doberman mix, about 3 years old, female.
Oh, I hope we don't get a copyright strike for this. We're
Okay, the
probably
tape is
gonna.
rolling.
Well, hopefully we don't. Notice the distance on the throws. Now here we go with the multiple. Huge leg vault on the run. Pretty awesome. Like that leg vault on the run is no joke. By the way, I believe this is 1994. So 28 years ago.
1 minute.
Five disc routine, by the way. Ah. It's funny, I don't think, oh, that was so badass. You guys have no idea. Hang on, I'll show you how badass that was. That was a spinning mouth take, body roll, brush.
Time is up. A nice round of applause for Brian Lamke.
So, this next move here. After the out throw, it's a spinning mouth take over. And it's not really an over, it's more of a pass. But it's a spinning mouth take, and then he does a dive roll. Right? So right here. Oh, I'm sorry. Right here. His little mouth take, his little forward roll over top of the disc for some superstar disc management, and the body roll finish. It's so awesome.
Time is up. A nice round of applause for Brian Lamke and Tatiana for Warren, Michigan.
Right? How awesome is that?
Coming up is...
How awesome is that? That's what I wanted to play like, guys. It's like, that was it, man. And that was a couple years before he really put it together. I'll pull up, let's watch that year, the 2000. Oh no, that isn't, I just liked that on YouTube. It's kind of awesome, by the way. I like it on YouTube. It posts to our blog and on our Facebook page. It's kind of awesome. But yeah, that's Brian Lamke and Tatiana, April Lee's mentor, and the dude who, like, I wanted to play like, you know. Oh, geez, where is... I just brought a bunch. Date modified. No, date added. That's the one I want, right? Yes. Let's see. Ooh, Flamingitis. Anyone down on that? No, we'll go old school one more time. And I am going to go get some water, guys. So enjoy this Rockalele video. We'll ruin...
There cannot be described. Don't give it up now and just make it super size. Just give it up, God. Fill it up to the top because it's what I need. Oh, it's what you got. When I drove by the other day, I had to go a few steps out of my way to fill out the sweetness of the life. This shit has got me hooked like crack. Oh, at the juice shack,
And this is a planned clip, by the way.
oh, juice shack, baby juice shack. Oh, juice shack, baby juice shack. Oh, juice shack, baby juice shack.
Yeah. And I'm gonna show two more old videos. Here we go. Do April Lee and Kiva. This video, Ruyori, back in 2011 when we first went to New York, had a GoPro, and this is headcam footage. And this is Kiva and April at Nadja and Kara's place in New York. Newfangled GoPro technology, compliments of Ruyori. It's such a cool video.
Yes, good, scoot. Yes. Yes. Up over. Wait. Yes. Top. Yes, good man, dog catch. Woohoo! Good man.
So I love how you can
Yes, Key, very nice. All right, should we try that again?
can hear and like even feel the communication from this angle. I think that's pretty awesome.
Ooh, buddy. Out through. Yes, good. Out.
Watch out. Ghosts are shutting
Yeah, out.
doors. Oh, it looks like it just
Yeah,
got cool
out,
here.
go. Yes, good man, buddy. Come on. Top. Oh. A
Whoa.
little too fast. Okay, this is the face plant thing. We'll see how it looks with the head cam here. Yeah.
Super awesome. All right, well, one more from back in the day. And we'll save the other 30 or so that I pulled up for later. How's that? This is Bisquick. This is the old lady who's been floating around in the back here. She's inside. Freaking huge, guys. I'm 6 feet tall. Like,
See? Yes, good girl.
she's like a horse. It's like playing with a horse. This is right when I started to figure out how to play with her. And in this session, I was reinforcing her for her leaping attempts, not necessarily her catching, because this area is too small for her.
top. Good girl. Aus, top. Good girl. Aus through. Yes, wait right there. Yes, top. Good girl. Very nice. Mine. Biscuit. Very nice. See? Aus. Yes. Scoot. Wait. Yes. Top. My bad.
Butterfly back fault. It's supposed to be a butterfly
Yes,
back
biscuit,
fault.
aus.
Skip under.
Easy.
I threw it behind her.
Woo! Very nice.
So here,
Come on, biscuit. Aus. Yes.
I want her to go after
Yes,
that,
aus.
right? So I'm marking when she
Nope.
leaps,
Aus.
not necessarily
Yes.
when she catches.
Yes, good girl. Aus. Up over. Good girl. Wait right there. Wait. Rebound. Good girl. Top. Good girl. Aus. Hop over. Good girl. See. Top. Hoop. Good girl.
Ooh, caught hoop.
Yes. Dog catch.
2011. Ooh, and the fake cheater dog catch move. There you go. Little trip down memory lane. That was the 90s, the aughts, and the early teens. That's what we saw there. How cool is that? That's Lou Mac's fucking show, right? That's Lou Mac's show right there. So yeah, kind of cool. Kind of cool, guys. So let's see. What do we want to talk about? What do we want to talk about? I'm going to pull up this Kneffin framework again. Kneffin 2.2. But I want to open it in Safari or my browser. There we go. That will allow me to do it bigger. No, that'll work. All right. So here we go. Let's talk about the this Kneffin framework here, right? So what we have, this is not a grid, right? This isn't a grid. It isn't axes. These are 4 domains, and it's actually 5 domains. This here is a domain. This is the aphoretic or confused domain. I'll tell you about that in a little bit. The clear domain, these are the behaviors like that need to happen, best practices, drop, sit, wait, don't bite the handler, look at the handler, right? Catch the disc, give, right? The thing is, within here, right, all of these things should be completely clear for you and the dog. Whoa, whoa, easy, cheetah, that's a little aggressive. So the disc dog mechanic here, I don't know, a little more. So, Oscar. All right. Oscar, glad to have you. So the disc dog mechanics need to be clear, right? Bite, drop, and give have to be taken care of. If they're not taken care of, if anything that needs to be clear for you to play, anything needs to happen, any of these best practices, anything over here that needs to happen, if it doesn't happen, you fall into chaos immediately, right? So like I'm jamming with my dog and my dog won't drop, I have fucking chaos, right? I'm jamming with my dog, my dog drops too early, I fall into chaos, right? I'm jamming with my dog, he won't give. I'm doing toss and fetch, he won't give, it's chaos, right? It's a terrible place. So anytime we have these base level behaviors fail, right? Anytime we have these base level behaviors fail, we risk falling into confusion because there's nowhere to go. You can't like fix it, you know what I mean? The dog either drops or doesn't. The end, you know? So your disc dog mechanics need to be sound. Your flat work, going clock and going counter, right? A lot of people are, well, why do I need to go counter? So you can stop the dog from going clock. Very least, you need to be able to communicate counter. If you can't communicate counter, you can't stop your dog. The end, right? Also, if you want to throw so that the dog sees and you want to throw a cool throw, right? Half of those throws are going to be visible. Yes. Yes, I need to bring it off the bus. I need to bring it off the bus. So, clock and counter, they lead to stop, right? Clock and counter leads to stop. If you don't have both, you have trouble stopping your dog. Flank versus pass. Don't come in at me. Play out there a little bit. Let's do a zigzag. No need to come in, right? Or you're out there. I want you to come in. I want to make you pass rather than just allowing you to pass. A front cross, super key. If I want to change directions or I want to stop the dog, it's a complete necessity. Whether you know what it is or how to do it or not, it's a necessity. A rear cross, not a necessity, but pretty freaking awesome. Super nice to slow the dog down. Super nice for whatchamacallit, for team movement and disc management. So those flat work skills all need to be understood, right? And done, clean, understood. Your vaulting, you need to be able to discriminate a linear vault from a rebound and from a stall. If you can do that without the body position, then the dog will know before anything happens what they are to do, right? And if the dog knows and then we execute, the risk of falling into chaos is very slim. If I'm doing a rebound and the dog thinks it's a linear vault, well, we got some trouble, don't we? Chaos rather quickly. Your setup moves, around, through, backwards through, scoot, spin, twist, those need to be 100%. If you send the dog and the dog doesn't go, or you send the dog around in one direction and the dog runs in the other, you're going to fall into chaos rather quickly, right? Performance is not understanding. Right? Performance is not understanding. Just because you and your dog do it, don't mean you know how to do it. That's really important. Don't fool yourself. Right? Cupcake knows how to get off. Right? She performs it. I could work the shit out of that, and that would be the likeliest thing for her to do, and she would hold that like 10 motherfuckers. She will perform the behavior, but she doesn't know the behavior. And if I assume that she knows the behavior, I'm going to fall into chaos. Here's the other thing that's really critical. All of these skills need to be known, not just performed, but known, understood by dog handler and team. Dog handler and team, right? You have to know it, the dog has to know it, and the team have to know it. And that's a really important thing. You know, just because you did it with your last dog doesn't mean anything, right? Just because you can do it with this dog doesn't mean you can do it with that dog. I've worked with lots of dogs where I knew the skill and the dog knew the skill, and as a team, we were unable to do the skill. We had to develop our team stuff in this clear area. That's cool. That's cool. Sleepy. I'm sure I'm not helping with a bunch of this navel gazing talk. I'm going to run through the rest of these things real quick. Throwing. All of these things need to be understood by you, and you need to be able to execute them. Clock and counter spin should be recognized by the dog. If the dog knows it's a counter spin, it's not likely to fly out of the dog's mouth. Your handling of your dog. You need to know how to stance shift, what your stance shift means. I'm standing with my right shoulder and my right foot forward. I'm putting all this pressure in this direction. I switch. I'm standing with my left shoulder forward, my left foot forward. I'm putting all the pressure in that direction. If you understand that, you're not likely to go into chaos because you inadvertently stepped in the wrong direction, right? Cool, Sage Paw, cool. So on the dog training front, there's a bunch of shit that needs to be done. Attention, right? My dogs know attention for bite, right? Like I get out there and I don't do anything, King stops and gives me attention. And him stopping and giving me attention is helping him not maul. It took me a long time to get there, but anyway. The dog should know how to give eye contact for a bite. I want it, right? How to give eye contact. Hey, bitch, I want to work with you. Boom, right? To get engagement with the handler. If the dog knows attention for next, if something's not happening, I stop and I give attention to the handler. All of the dog training skills, dismissal, targeting, weight, duration behavior, all of these basic behaviors need to be understood, right? So when we're working in the clear domain, when we are working, like let's say we're fixing something or we're trying to diagnose something, we sense, then we categorize, and then we respond. We do something, it doesn't work. What is the problem? It is, the flat work isn't understood by the dog. So I categorize it into flat work, and then I respond with the drill that will teach the skill, right? And that's how we work in the clear area. Everyone wants to put everything in the clear. If it's not perfect, it's not here in the clear. If it's not perfect, it is not here in the clear. I can't stress that enough. If you rely on something that must be perfect, like bite, drop, give, and it's not perfect, you cannot treat it like it's a best practice. You can't treat it like, I'll just sense, I'll see what happens, I'll figure out what category it needs to be, and I'll just fix it, I'll make a response. It's not going to happen because you've already fucked it up. It's already a mess. It's already not clear, right? Those things are complicated, okay? Things that are either not quite clearly understood by dog handler and team, or things that are multi-part behavior chains, a bunch of the behaviors in I don't actually. This is a patrons only chart, Anu. This is one of the things that that we do in class and with our patrons. So pop that up there. See ya, Sage Paw. Sorry I missed you. So the up in the complicated area, we sense, then we analyze, then we respond, right? So we see what happens. We try to figure out what the problem is. Now keep in mind, if you got a drop issue, right? You already thought it was clear. You already thought it was down here, right? You already thought it was here. It's not there. If it were there, it would be working and you wouldn't need to analyze it and figure out what the hell the problem was, right? So you're up here. You need to analyze that problem and figure out what the deal is, right? And then we respond. The complicated area is they're good practices, right? These are things that can and will work, right? The things that you know that can and will work, the things that you need to learn that can and will work, right? There might be different ways to do it. Experts will disagree, right? But what they won't disagree on are kind of the fact that these things are important, right? So, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and make that wide so you can see my hand gestures. I hear that's like what the social media influencers are trying to do these days, right? You know? Anyway, it fucking bugs me, man. I can't stand that shit. Anyway, so the complicated domain is full of good practices or practices that are multi-part. Experts will disagree. Solutions are not readily evident. You can find the answers, but you might not have them on hand. You may need to consult an expert, right? That's what this area is about. That's where my bread and butter is made. With people in here, right, with these skills, right? I try to take these skills, these clear skills, and make them literally clear so that you can do cooler shit up here in the complicated. That's what I'm doing. That's my plan. So, good practices. Complicated sequences, behavior chains, patterns, right? The dog needs to know the trick, the trigger, await, attention, pressure, right? If your dog, sorry, you didn't, oh gosh, that's annoying. Why is that happening? Your dog needs to, funny, each time I touch the, all right, your dog needs to know the trick that we're doing, the trigger for that trick, the wait, so that they can take the trigger, the attention required to know that we're going to do it so they can take the wait to do the trigger, to do the trick. And they need to have a sense of pressure, right, so that you can activate the pressure to hold them in their wait and make it likely for them to give attention. The team needs to know all of those things, right? Oh, the cue should be in there too. And the handler needs to know all those things, right? So this is not just like, yeah, we know the trick, right? Do you? Does your dog really know the difference between this trick and that trick? When it fucks up, I bet you that one of you, the dog, the handler, or the team, didn't quite realize what one of these aspects was, right? So that would be like sequences and tricks, right? And then for like patterns, we have flat work patterns or interactions. You need to know how to connect with the dog. That needs to happen, right? How do you connect with the dog? How do you hook up with the dog? You need intelligence on the dog's flank preference and how the dog moves in general. So you need to know how to connect, to set up and establish connection to make your pattern happen. And then you have to have the intelligence of how the dog moves so that you can do that. You need to know the pose, right? Pose to stop the dog or something to stop the dog. Experts will disagree, right? There's more than one way to skin the cat here. You'll need a front cross, whether you call it a front cross or not, you need one, fact. You need a trigger, have to have it. Resonance spins, if you want the dog to be able to see the disc, so there's a high likelihood of a catch, you need to know the patterns of resonance spins. Flank versus pass, interception versus chase, right? Around the world. And then, so now we've moved from like tricks, concepts to more large scale flat work patterns, right? And fucking, we're behind that. So I am actually going through this here. Sorry about that. Training patterns, I don't have that fleshed out But you need to know your training patterns and the type of patterns that are going to reinforce action, that are going to reinforce calm, that are going to reinforce the dog for the behaviors you want. And you'll also need to know patterns that will punish or inhibit behavior that you don't want. But how you train, the things that you're doing within your training, they're patterns that you need to understand, right? Unintended patterns, timing, location, pairing, that stuff that fools us into believing that our dogs know the skill, right? Again, complicated area are good practices. We should be able to do them. They work, right? And if they don't, we have to go down here and see what's wrong, right? We can just check down there. Maybe something's wrong down there. Or we analyze, consult an expert. Here's where everything happens. Again, what we do here, we sense, then we analyze, then we respond, right? So the first thing we do is wait until we get the data, and then we analyze. The first thing we do in the clear is wait until we get the data, and then we categorize that data because we know what it is. Complicated, we wait, then we figure out what's happening, then we craft a response. Everyone thinks Frisbee's happening here. It's not. It's fucking not, dude. In the complex domain, this is, when you guys ask me a question about your dog, I can't know it. I can't know the answer. There isn't a recipe for it, right? Experts won't only disagree on the solution, they'll disagree on what the problem is. They might even disagree on what's happening, right? Who the fuck knows, right? When, oh God, annoying. The complex domain is emergent practices, new things, right? It's also the place where like organic things happen, right? This is too complex to be perfect cookie cutter exactly the same every time. The only skill with a Frisbee that we can do like almost 100% reliably is a flip, right? That's really, we can actually get, I can hit the corner of the camera lens right here over and over and over again, and I can stroke that. But outside of that, that move right there from about this distance, everything else is going to be very, very, it's going to have variation, right? And so we think that our routine is a complicated good practice, when in reality, every single sequence is based upon everything that happened before it. If you don't have a disc, because the wind picked it up in sequence 1, or the dog dropped it and it rolled into the judge's tent, well, who's got the answer for that? Right? Anything could happen. And we make a big, big mistake by thinking that we should control all of the stuff within the game, and that you make a big mistake thinking you should know the answer. You make a big mistake thinking that I know the answer, right? What we do in the complex domain is we probe. We act, we do something that we think might work or that is completely safe to fail, right? The very first thing we do is probe, and then we sense the response. Do we like that? Do more of it. Do we not like it? Do something else. That would be the response, right? And so all of our work in Frisbee is happening here, right? And we think it's here and down here. This is like a bicycle, right? I got 2 wrenches and 2 screwdrivers. I can fix my bicycle, right? This is like an airplane. If I try to solve these problems with 2 wrenches and 2 screwdrivers, I will be fucked. It won't work, right? And I will need a copious amount of documentation from experts to make my plane fly appropriately with all of these crazy tools, right? The complex domain is like an organism, right? Like a sentient being. We don't know what the hell's going to happen. It could do anything. It's never going to do it exactly the same way, right? You can bring in experts, but they won't know what the hell's going on, right? And this is where we're at all the time. And all it requires us to do is to act first and then see what's happening. So here's the problem that I see. Biggest problem in dog frisbee. Someone fucking take the time. Take the time code right now. Biggest problem in dog frisbee is that people think that they should have the answer to things that they don't know how to do. How do you do that? How does one do that? Right? You can't know the answer to something you don't know how to do. You can't know how to do something you don't know how to do, right? So acknowledging the fact that you don't know how to do it is the very first thing. Okay, well, I don't really know what's happening here. Well, you know, attention works and a bite works. Let's do that, right? And I do attention and a bite. Okay, I see how that works. Do I want to do more of that? Is that going to get me towards what I want? Right? Did it help with the problem? Did it give the dog more attention to me? Who knows, right? But you want to acknowledge that you don't know, right? And then the fourth zone is chaos. That's like fire. Can't control it, right? You don't want to be here. It's no fun being there, right? There are no constraints on behavior here. Literally anything can happen, and none of it's really good, right? So what happens is we move around this thing with all of our skills, and we don't want to fall into chaos. See this green zone here? Oops, that green zone. That's where all the cool shit happens. Right on the edge of chaos. How's that? Right? So everyone who wants to play it safe and, you know, never get in trouble or be in danger of being in trouble. I know everything that I do. All I do is my routine, right? Innovation is not going to be there, right? You won't have innovation. You have to get down here and do things that you don't know how to do, try things you don't know how to do, and give them a shot. This is where jam in a flash happens, right? Innovation happens here. You don't know what's going to happen when you put these tricks together, and you're going to try something. I'm going to try this. I'm going to wait and sense what happens, and then I'm going to respond and move on, right? That response can be moving on to the next trick in the sequence. That probe, I turned left after this move. I like that. My response also could be like, yeah, I'm going to continue to turn left, or nah, fuck that, that was dumb. I'm going to turn right this time, right? And by doing that, we don't know what we're doing, right? We're risking chaos. We're risking it. It's dangerous, right? We don't know what we're doing. It could go poorly, right? But that's where innovation happens. And as we do it and it gets better, it comes up into the more organized areas of the complex domain. And then once we figure out how to do it and it's 100%, this year's sequence is going to wind up in the complicated zone, right? So innovation happens here on the edge of chaos we can actually be in chaos and still experience innovation, right? And up here, when we are in the complex domain, it's still crazy. It's still an organic critter. We're still not quite sure how it's all finished. It isn't ready to be worked on as if it's an airplane, right? Anyone can work on it with the instruction manual. While we're doing that, we're in this area. Proofing, we still don't know how everything is. If we knew how it was going to work, it would already be happening. As we're proofing it, we have to make assessments in how the proofing process is going. And we're trying to take this wild critter, right, that we can't predict, and train that critter up and make it a critter that only does the good practices, doesn't do anything that is unexpected, right? And that's kind of the thing. The center zone, it's called the apparatic zone, and it's where you start, right? The A, see that it's green? I choose to be in none of these zones, right? Dismissal allows you to sit outside of all the zones and watch the dog. If you need a break, dismiss the dog and come here and chill, right? If shit hits the fan and your training session goes to shit and you yell at the dog and you throw your toys down, well, congratulations. You went from chaos into the confusion zone. You're not able to deal with any of these parts of the game. You didn't go there on purpose, and it's not a good way to be outside of these four zones. Confusion could be like a rage quit, like I outlined. It could also be like, I'm overwhelmed. Holy shit, I have no idea what's happening. And then the game and the dog push you into this confused zone where you can't figure out what zone you're in, right? Sorry, I didn't mention this. In chaos, the very first thing you do is act. You have to stop the chaos. Doesn't fucking matter what you do. Do something, right? And you act, sense, and respond and try and move to somewhere where you're comfortable. Here's the problem. Shit hits the fan, right? Shit hits the fan. We've fallen into chaos, right? If I tell the dog to sit, it may work, right? May work. May work, may get me out of chaos, right? But if I tell the dog to sit and he doesn't do it, what do I do? Where do I go from there? If I tell the dog to sit from chaos, I'm telling him to do one of these behaviors over here in this zone, right? In the clear. And if he doesn't do it, we're going to fall right into chaos right away. Right? We'll be right back where we started from. So we want to act, then we sense, then we respond in chaos. And people don't want to do that. Doesn't matter what you do. Do it. Do it with conviction. Boom, pow, crate. Boom, pow, leash. Throw your toys down. Leave the field of play. Down the dog. Right? Keep in mind, if you down the dog and it doesn't work, you're fucked. Because you're going to be right back in chaos. But I think this is really, really awesome. This state in the center, the apparatic state, is really awesome, man. I live in this. All of my slacker training shit is in here. Every time I dismiss the dog, I can chill right on this A and watch what happens and choose my moment to go back to basics and work, do something productive that is somewhat challenging, or explore and play. Right? And if I do that and I wind up going down here, I dismiss the dog and I go in here and figure out what the fuck I want to do. I rarely get confused anymore. And I've been looking for a really long time to find some way to explain this shit, like how I make decisions in the dog training thing. And this thing completely nails it. When April and I, or any pro trainer, grabs your dog and takes the dog out on the field and runs the dog like a fucking boss, and it's perfect, right? People tend to think that that trainer knew exactly what they were going to do with that dog before they touched the dog. And it's not true. It's not true. So while you're working the dog, I am evaluating the dog, right? Hey, try this, right? Try this, try that. What happens if you do this? And then it's safe to fail for me. You're fucking doing it. It's a safe to fail probe for me, right? So I have you do all the work of figuring out what's up with this dog, right? And then you give me the discs, right? So you give me the discs, and I stand there and I look at the dog, right? And if the dog gives me eye contact, I say yes, bite. That's a safe to fail probe. I'm figuring out what the dog is going to do, right? And once the dog does that properly, eye contact, yes, and doesn't chew my... If I say yes on the eye contact and the dog fucking jumps up and mauls me, well, I know something about that dog now, right? And then I say, whoa, 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 easy, cheetah, right? And I take eye contact, yes, and I brace. And the dog sits and it looks like I'm fucking boss, right? Now I know the dog will handle my pressure, sweet. All right, let's go, dude. I walk out. The dog walks beside me. Wow, that's great. I turn towards you. I front cross the dog. Hey, is this something? And the dog comes with me. Ooh, I now know the dog knows flat work. Awesome. I get out there. I run the dog, the most aggressive dog, like a fucking rib, like he's easy as shit, and I move him all over the field with beautiful flat work. If I do the same thing and I turn towards you and I front cross the dog and he runs behind me and kind of tries to steal the disc out of my hand coming around the backside, I know he's a dishonest bastard. And I'm not going to trust him. So I'm not going to go out and try and work him awesome. I'm going to be much more cautious, and I'm going to plan a little more. I'm going to do some more probes. I'm going to try and figure out something he's good at, and I'm going to kick ass with him and get off the field, right? All of that shit has taken place before I've even done anything with the dog, right? I know a ton of shit about that dog, and I couldn't have walked out on the field without knowing it. Or if I would have walked out on the field, I would have looked as shitty and as dumb as you do, right? As you do with that dog that's tearing you up, or whatever the dog is doing that's seriously troubling you, right? The idea that experts know is not right. Experts know complicated things, right? But the big problem with dog training, the reason there is no like recipe for it, is because it all takes place with two critters, right? With two critters that want to do things, right? And two critters that are live and have desires and I don't know, predilections. They want to do it this way. They're both a little creative, you know. We're not a machine, and people want a machine. All right, so I'm gonna totally quit on that. I will be going through this again because there's just a shit ton of stuff in here on how this works, and again, this is not this is how we do it, right? I'm not telling you to do it this way. I'm telling you, you already are doing it this way, right? All that whole framework is not how to do it. It is how it is done. Whether or not you care about whether it's clear or not, there are base level skills that you're dependent on. If those base level skills aren't strong and you're overly reliant on them, you will fall into something approaching chaos. You will look bad at applying your skills, right? Once we get our bearings in the complex, once we figure out how to do shit, we start to move it over into this complicated domain where it becomes more machine-like. And if we don't, it stays over in the complex domain where it's more organic, right? It's what is happening. It's not how we do it, right? And it is kind of how we do it, but knowing how you do it doesn't fucking matter. It's like flat work. It's just like flat work. It's the flat work of situational awareness. Super funny. Anyway, such a fucking nerd. And probably just ruined my live streaming with that. I don't know though, man. I really do. I think it's super, super important. Just the courage, the courage and conviction, right? Of being like, man, I don't know what's going to happen here. Yes, I'll take eye contact. Up, up. Yes, good. All right. Like, it's so nice to have a ready-made response. And if I'm doing something new and I don't do it on the first try, I don't like get angry because I didn't do it, right? I also don't necessarily wait around until someone tells me how to do it, right? Anyway, blah, blah, blah. Anybody have anything they want to talk about? Anybody still here? I think we got 3, 4, 5 people. Feeling like I feel like I'm letting you down. Feel like I'm letting you down. Do-do-do. That camera actually doesn't look too terribly bad. All right. So, Tactics Tuesday. We worked on back chaining. You know what? Let me hit on that again. Let me hit on that again. The dogs need to do it again. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to puppy, Cupcake. Come on, Cupcake. I'm going to front chain. Whoa, whoa. I'm going to front chain this behavior with Cupcake. Front chaining is building the behavior one piece at a time. And adding steps to the behavior chain. It is represented by a behavior staircase, right? It is represented, king off, king stall, good. It is represented, dude, by it's called a behavior staircase. You can see it on the, look it up. If I have anatomy of a behavior, if anyone can search for anatomy of a behavior on YouTube, on our YouTube. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lure her up here. Yes. I'll mark it. Dude. I'll lure her up here. Yes. I'll mark it. I'll pay her. Pump her full of cookies. And then off. I'll ask her off. King, off. King, stall. Nope, over there. Stall. Good. So again, I'll lure the puppy up here. Come on, puppy. Yes. I'll mark that. I'll pump her full of cookies. While she's up here, no markers. Off. Yes. Good job, right? Up, up. Yes. I'll pump her full of cookies, no marker. Off. Yes, good girl. That's a front chain, okay? And so what we did was I could even off. Yes, I can free shape this with a front chain. When she turns towards it, let me take eye contact. Yes, I pay her up here. Yes, while, and then off, right? And what I did there was attention's the first thing that's required. Then, yes, she turns. Mark her orientation to the pedestal. I pay her while she's up here. Reinforce for position, and then off, right? I mark when she, yes, orients. I pay her for position, yes. I pay her while she's here. Adding value, off. King, off. Good work, dragon. So, that's front chaining. Attention, orientation, approach, front feet on, rear feet on. Yes, right? I can mark front feet, rear feet, and then off, right? And those are all the behaviors in the pedestal, right? And I could probably break it down into a couple other small pieces of criteria, but those are the behaviors we're talking about, right? So what I'm going to do this time with her is I'm going to back chain. So instead of, oops, wrong one, boom. Instead of doing the whole thing in order, I'm going to work from the finish, right? And instead of putting everything up, 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 up a ladder, I'm just going to off, ask her off, and allow her to do the whole thing before it. Off. Yes, good girl. Right? So I'm starting with the finish of the behavior. And as a result, the dog sets up at the top of the behavior and falls into off. Yes, the behavior. Right? And that's back chaining. And those tactics off. Yes, good girl. Those tactics are necessary for us to handle adversity and to have flexibility in our approach, right? And so because she is, has been back chained, when this behavior doesn't work, she falls into the finish, right? The off is not coming, but she's stuck waiting for off. Yes, right? And that's fucking huge deal, man. It's a huge deal. And it's awesome, but sometimes, King, off, we want the dog to have a little bit more understanding of the pieces of the behavior. King, stall. That's funny. Nope, stall. Yes, good man. So did you see King not leave me? So off, King, off. So all I've marked with King, I talk about the front chain. And so attention, yes. Stall, yes. I want to mark him leaving for the pedestal, right? And then pay him on the pedestal. Off, king, off, yes, good. So when I tell him stall, right, because I front chained it, the back chain isn't super strong. King, it is super strong, but not on cue. King here. The piece he doesn't know, stall, yes, yes, is that approach, right? King off, king, yes, good. So when I tell him stall, yes, I'm going to mark his approach, him starting to leave there. King off. And what's going to happen here is that he's going to realize, king, stall, yes, that leaving me is part of the stall behavior. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but king off, yes, good man. He's really busting over there on this stall. King, stall. And now I didn't mark any of it. King, off, yes, right? So I threw a little front chain on him there so I could make stall, yes, the stall sharper, right? So those things, king, off. Look at that cupcake. Whoa. Wow. She is really getting it. She is really getting it. Also that front chain, him knowing the leave me part of it. In the future, sorry, I'm not on camera. In the future, he's going to leave me, and I'm not going to mark it. And he's going to go like a bit of a ways, and he's going to go, hey, you know, are you sure? Should we be doing this? I thought, and I'll mark when he looks at me, right? King off. We'll see it right here. Oh, look at him. Yeah, I see you. We'll see it inside of 3 reps up to the pedestal. Watch. So he'll start to the pedestal, and I'm banking that he's going to stop and look at me. Right? Come on, dude. Right? Okay. Go to dog stuff. So give me 4 reps. Yes, good man. That's a great job, right? So by grabbing him and sending him, right, to drawing his attention to him leaving me, yes, good man, right? All of a sudden, he realizes that there's something going on with orientation, right? And if I mark him releasing that object, dude, come on. Yeah. If I mark him releasing that object, he doesn't get paid for that, right? So there's 2. Give me 4. Go work. Awesome. I see you. Go do dog stuff. Yeah. Whoa, that puppy's savage. She's got some kind of bug. The mighty hunter. Yes, good man. I'll take that. Right? King, go do dog stuff. Come on, dude. I see you. Yeah. I see you. I do. I totally see you. Yep. Go do dog stuff. Whoa. Hi, Amber. Yeah. Yes, good man. Awesome, right? So all of a sudden, him bouncing over there, King, go do dog stuff, to go pound that obstacle, has softened up just because I drew attention to him, king, yes. Stall, yes, good man. Now wait. Come on, you can do it. You can finish. Off. Yes, good man. And I'm going to do one or two more. And again, I'm going to mark stall. Yes. Him orienting and going there, right? King, off. Come on, handsome. Yes, good man. King, stall. Yes. I'm going to let him go. I can mark this again when he decides to go. Yes, good man, right? King, off. Good. Stall. Yes, good man. Come on, you can do it. Yes, good man. All right. King, off. Yes. Let me try one more here. King, stall. Yes, good man. Awesome. Okay, off. Go do dog stuff. Yeah, go work. All right. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. So when I mark, my marker is not a predictor of a cookie. It's not 100% predictor of a cookie. It's about 85%, right? And I don't think King quite has that, right? I don't think he quite has it. So I think he's overly reliant on where the cookie is happening right now. The fact that I'm paying him on the floor sometimes, right? Or the fact that I'm paying him on the pedestal sometimes. He's gravitating towards the hot reward placement. That's what I think is happening. So when he hears yes, he's anticipating a hot reward placement where the cookies happened the last time. And I'm pretty sure of that. So what'll happen is as I continue to work him with these skills and draw attention to the pieces of behavior. So attention, orientation, target, approach, arrive, front feet, rear feet, or nose, right? As he starts to realize that those are like real things, he'll start to tune to those things rather than to the hot reward placement, right? Or he will budget those things into the equation along with what he perceives to be the hot reward placement. We can be fooled into thinking that the dog knows it, when in reality, the puppy has, hey puppy. The puppy has simply been rewarded a shit ton for being up there and knows that cupcake off can only happen when she's up there, right? She doesn't know the behavior. Can you expand on that question a little more, Amber? Wow, that's a really big, I shrink that up a little bit. I got a little out of control there, huh? Yeah, expand on that question a little more. That sounds like a good one. Yeah, and again, guys, I'm only training pretty much on camera. Everything else is handling dogs and scooping poop and mowing the lawn and dicking around online. Super excited about the, super excited about the I like something on YouTube as Pawsitive Vybe, and it posts a blog post, and it shares that post to Facebook. Super cool, man. I don't want to deal with Facebook at all, and it auto posts there. And if you want to catch our stuff on Facebook, make sure you like Pawsitive Vybe and follow there. But been sharing a bunch of really cool stuff from out there, or from back in the day from there, and that's been super exciting. And I got some other stuff planned on the online front. It's happening. So, another thing Amber mentioned, the first part of the first one, amazed at the progress from Sunday. Yeah, it's nice progress. It's nice for both of them. I'm pretty excited. I hope to be able to have King and Epi out here working in tandem reliably. If I can rely on King to be at least somewhat honest, then I can deal with Epi's bullshit because the GoPro went on. And if Epi is being kind of dickish, I can also rely on King to hold his shit together. So having two dogs that are going to unreliably, having two dogs that the clear behavior, right? That clear behavior, that best practice, it should be down in that lower zone of off, King, off, yes, right? It's not clear, right? If it were, they'd be fucking doing it, right? And they're not doing it, so I have to do something else, or so it's not where I want it to be. And you can see that anytime I have those two in here right now, one of them goes off and then I'm in chaos. And I have two dogs, and then I have two dogs in chaos, and I'm running a live stream, and it's terrible, right? If I get them settled, I should be able to live in the complex domain and start moving it over there to the complicated domain and get some proofing going on. I'm excited about that. Oh, no. So the latent learning. So the while, there are a few things. I think that really is the first thing that I free shaped with her, right? Pedestal. There's nobody who, oops, I can't reach it. Cupcake, can you get it? That would be amazing. Cupcake, can you get it? I can't reach it. Yes, can I have it? Get it, I can't reach it. Oh, that was a good try. That was a good try. She targeted it. So the first thing you free shape with a dog is usually a lifelong behavior. Do not free shape paw first. Don't do it. You have been warned. All right, don't free shape paw. And I would recommend not free shaping sit pretty as your first behavior. Those two behaviors suck. Don't do it. So the first free shape behavior she did, I think, is up on the pedestal and lie down. So that's awesome. That's going to be a go-to forever as a result. So she'll probably jump on things and maybe lay down on them. So the while makes her very comfortable there and makes her very likely to lie down. And that will hold true forever because I'm up here for the long term, and I know I'm up here for the long term. So I don't know if it's actually latent learning that goes on there that will hold up. And either it can be tuned up and maintained either through adding value, right? Marking only the action going up and paying while with no marker, right? You can add value, or you can work with the off and backchain it. And if you do those things well, that will stick. And it will stick like latent learning. I know what you're saying with kind of that terminology and that kind of vibe. Let's see, in a while it transfers to latent learning when revisited, or they go back to the behavior while in that environment. Yeah, and they will, if you combine that with the knowledge that King has or that King is building with the front chain, you can see King is much more active on the pedestal, right? He's trying to make shit happen. He knows that he makes shit happen. He knows that that makes shit happen, right? So if your back chain, your strong desire to be up there, high value, and the back chain with the off, right, is combined with the front chain of like, hey, what are we doing? Oh, you want me to get on that? Like, hey, what are we doing? Yes, and I pay you on the pedestal. Or, hey, what are we doing? And then the dog looks at the pedestal, I mark that. If we have that stroked and the value up there, that dog will pedestal on fucking anything. Everything will look like a pedestal. That'll become a tool, right? That'll become a tool. So it will be revisited in the same environment. And if you combine it with some front chaining and give them the tools and skills to know what it is that they're doing, they'll use those tools and skills towards, everything's a hook. It'll become a hook, right? So we did human clicker training here at camp, and we had a hook happen. And the dog hooked something, and every person after that needed to hook. They just tried to hook, and everything was about the hook. And it was just because we knew that was a thing. As soon as the dog knows that approaching the thing is a thing, right, then they're going to be much more likely to do it. And they'll use it as a tool. Hopefully that answers that, Amber. Yeah, they look for it in every environment. Yeah. Or, yeah, heavy enough epi looks for pedestal anywhere he's at. Oh, you want this? Right? He can be easily asked to get on a pedestal, and he often finds his own. Yeah. Yep. And then what you want to do to combat that, remember what we were talking about with Robin and her dogs, how she doesn't like that offering. The dismissal combined with purposeful work on the approach, purposeful cueing work, only paying it when it's cued, right? And then lots of cookies for the off, maybe a couple, King, off, maybe a couple of these. Okay, go to dog stuff, where he starts to leave, hang on, where he starts to leave and then he comes back, right? So I've dismissed him. Oops, hang on. So I've dismissed him, and I'm banking, because of the cookies I've just given him, he's gonna, yes, start and then turn back towards me, right? So if I have a little bit of this going on with the good clear cueing, it will reduce the dog's want to go do that on his own, right? And that can be turned into a very dull roar very easily. Or if I dismiss the dog and he runs and hits the pedestal all the time, I'll dismiss the dog and he'll hit the pedestal, and I'll wait for him to do something else that's a soft piece of work, and he'll do that, and I'll put the pedestal in the rear view mirror. The pedestal will go away. And you know, you can already see him even on dismissal. We worked really hard the last few weeks to make him leave me on dismissal, right? Remember that? We tried to make him leave, worked really hard. We put the target out there, and he left on dismissal. Now I have this this Terry meaning I'm not doing it right away, and this kind of loitering around me, right, with soft work. Here it comes. Yes, good man. And I'll pay him on the ground here with a few cookies on the ground, which will reduce his likelihood to go up on that pedestal. And then when I want him to go on the pedestal, I'll be clear, and I should be able to get clarity on when to do it and what a cue means. going towards stimulus control. And hopefully that makes sense. So, so yeah, I think I'm about done here. We talked about the Cynefin framework. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah, you know what, puppy? Let's go. Look at you. You are a savage. You tore this shit up. Come on, puppy. All right, so I'm going to, let's go, go, go. I'm going to throw on a video. I'm going to go get Epi and bring him in here because he hasn't done anything. Poor guy. But I'll put the puppy away here. I will pull up the next video. Let me see. I don't know. I have all these awesome videos. I don't know what to do. Ooh, I got a good one. We'll do this one. Yeah, I got a bunch of great videos.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These were the ingredients chosen to create the perfect little girl.
Awesome.
But Professor Utonium accidentally added an extra ingredient to the concoction. Chemical X. Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born! Using their ultra superpower, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup have dedicated their lives to fighting crime and the forces of evil!
That's a big girl, even with the treat snack.
You are utterly powerless against me now! Ha ha! Etc.
Powerpuff! Powerpuff! Ultra superpower! Forces of evil!
And it is this reporter's opinion that perhaps none of this would have happened if the Powerpuff Girls would have just saved the day.
Don't make me come over there!
Spice. And everything nice. Professor Utonium.
This was the Spooky Jam 2011. We used to do a Halloween contest.
Ultra superpower.
Ultra superpower.
Powerpuff.
At last, victory is mine!
I've had it with your insubordination!
Wow, Bubbles, that was groovy.
All right. That was like 2010, I think. 2009, 2010. Super fun. It was a super fun place, super fun time. Back right before 2012, when the world ended, right, Epi? Epi. Epi. Where are you, Epi? Right. Thanks, Amber. All right, so, all right, any questions, anything you guys want to hit on anything I talked about, or tactics, puppy stuff? No puppy jam today. She's too vicious already. She's too vicious. We got to work on stop, not go. Just chill. Look at her. She is like totally savaged. This whole place, man. There's shit torn up all over. All right, so cool. I am going to play us out with meme roll number 12. Used to be the big meme roll, but now it's just old news. It's just old news. So let me pop this on, meme roll number 12. Hey, it's not there. Well, it will be in a second. And we'll see you guys soon. Lots of fun videos and super cool stuff. Don't be shy. Hook up with us on Patreon, please. That would be terrific. There we go. Meme roll number 12. All right. And we will see you guys sometime soon. Don't be shy. Happy. What were you doing out here, huh? Were you being bad, Epi? Whoa, I see him. I see you. Pretty. Oh, good man. But I only gave one off, yes. Good. Good. Good work. Epi, off. Good. Up. King, off. Yes, good man. Go do dog stuff. Good job, Dragon. God damn it, you're the best partner I've ever had. Kung Fury, check it out. See you guys soon.